morning, Your Majesties. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you that are new here, welcome to my YouTube channel and happy Memorial Day. What are you guys doing for Memorial Day? Let me know. I would like to know. I'm not sure what we're doing yet. Probably eat a lot of food. I don't know. Anyway, before I get into today's video, I just want to let you guys know I will be filming 2 weeks of content for you guys because I have my procedure. I have my procedure in 3 days, so I will be pre-recording some extra content for you guys, so I'm keeping up with you guys and you guys aren't hanging. So anyway, let's get into today's video, but don't worry, you guys are going to be getting content from me. I promise you guys. So I'm going to be pre-recording 7 videos today and 7 videos tomorrow. So stay tuned. Anyway, today's story is The Shadow in the Attic. Okay. In the small, sleepy town of Eldermore, there stood an old house on the outskirts. Its once grand facade now weathered and worn by time. The townspeople spoke of it in hushed tones, a relic of the past that held secrets better left undisturbed. For generations, the house had been passed down through the same family, each new owner ceiling of the attic, a room that was rumored to be haunted by a shadowy figure. Oh boy. It was said that the shadow was the restless spirit of a man that died in the house under mysterious circumstances. His soul twisted, bound to the attic, emerging only at night to roam the dark, empty space. The house had been vacant for years. When Emily's family moved in, drawn by the property's charm and the allure of its history, Emily, a girl with an insatiable curiosity and fascination with all things supernatural, was thrilled by the prospect of living in a house with a haunted attic. She had always been drawn to ghost stories, again me, devouring books on the paranormal and dreaming of the day when she might encounter a ghost of her own. I need to get paranormal books. Okay. Her parents, however, were more practical, dismissing the stories as nothing more than local folklore. Oh, Taylor Swift album mentioned. They set about making the house their own, restoring the rooms to their former glory. When Emily explored every nook and cranny, eager to uncover its secrets, but there is one place she had not yet ventured: the attic, the room that no one dared to enter. I hope you're making good decisions. Come on now. The attic door was located at the end of a narrow, winding staircase, hidden behind a dusty a dusty curtain that fluttered in the slightest breeze. The door itself was old and splintered, its surface covered in a thick layer of dust, as if it hadn't been touched in years. Emily had seen the door many times in passing, but said nothing, but something about it made her hesitate, a sense of unease that gnawed at the edges of her curiosity. One evening, when her parents were attending a local event, Emily found herself alone in the house. The sun had set, casting long shadows across the floors, and the wind howled softly through the trees outside. The house creaked and groaned, the sound of its age settling into the night. Emily stood at the bottom of the staircase, her heart racing as she stared up at the attic door. She had always dismissed the stories about the attic as silly superstitions, but now with the house silent and empty, those tales seemed to take on a new weight. Her flashlight in hand, Emily took a deep breath and began to climb the stairs, each step creaking loudly beneath her feet. The attic door before her, its wooden surface rough and cold to the touch. She hesitated for a moment, her hand trembling as she reached for the tarnished brass handle. The door resisted at first as if reluctant to open, but then it gave way with a loud creak that echoed through the house, sending a shiver down her spine. Good gosh, what the heck? Girl, the air in the attic was colder than the rest of the house. The chill seeping into her bones as she stepped inside. The room was dark. The only light coming from her flashlight, which cast a weak yellow beam and barely penetrated the shadows. The attic was filled with forgotten relics of the past, old trunks and furniture covered in cobwebs. My goodness. Stacks of dusty books and piles of moth-eaten cloths. Everything was draped in a thick layer of dust, untouched for what seemed like decades. As Emily moved deeper into the attic, her flashlight flickered, casting strange shadows on the walls. The air was thick with the smell of decay, a musty, earthy scent that made her stomach churn. She shone the light around the room, her heart pounding in her chest as she searched for any sign of the shadowy figure the villagers had spoken of. Good gosh. Okay. At first, there was nothing, just a silent, oppressive darkness pressing in on her from all sides. But then, out of the corner of her eye, she saw it. A shape darker than the shadows around it. Moving in the far corner of the room, it was barely visible, an inky black mass that seemed to pulse and shift with a life of its own. Emily's breath caught in her throat as the shadow moved closer, its form growing larger and more defined. It wasn't a trick of the light. This was something real, something malevolent. The shadow seemed to be drawn to her, moving slightly across the floor, its edges blurring and shifting like smoke. Her flashlight flickered again, the beam weakening as the shadow loomed before her. A formless, seething mass of darkness. The air grew colder, the smell of decay stronger, and Emily felt a wave of dread wash over her. She tried to step back, to turn and flee, but her feet wouldn't move. That would freak me out. It was as if the shadow had rooted her to the spot, its presence suffocating, its cold tendrils wrapping around her icy fingers. The shadow moved closer still, and Emily's flashlight flickered one last time before it went out, plunging the room into complete darkness. She could feel the shadow pressing against her, its cold, dark tendrils wrapping her body, pulling her into the black void. That is so freaking creepy. Holy moly. She opened her mouth to scream, but no sound came out. Only the cold, empty darkness filled her senses, drowning her in its embrace. The last thing Emily saw before the darkness claimed her was a pair of hollow, empty eyes staring at her from within the shadow, as if the figure itself was nothing but a void, a vessel of darkness and despair. The next morning, when her parents returned home, they found the house silent and empty. The attic door was closed once more, the dust undisturbed as if no one had entered. They called for Emily, searched every room, but she was nowhere to be found. The house stood still, its secrets locked away in the shadows of the attic. The villagers whispered that the shadow had claimed another soul, that Emily had joined the restless spirit, that that haunted attic, her fate sealed by her own curiosity. The house remained as it always had, its attic door closed and forgotten, waiting for the next curious soul to open it and release the shadow from its dark prison. You know, you mess around, you found out, right? It's kind of, it's kind of like you play with fire, you get burned. Or no, you play stupid games, win stupid prizes, that kind of stuff. Yeah, maybe don't mess with that kind of stuff. I mean, I love that kind of stuff, but if it's gonna mess with you mentally and physically, like if it's gonna if you're not gonna be anywhere to be found, don't mess with that kind of stuff, But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's video. Oh, I forgot to tell you, this is shirt of the week, Ghostface. Hold on, let's see if you can get it better. Yeah, there's Ghostface. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be shirt of the week. But anyway, that's going to be it for today's video. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Princess Peyton. Hit the red button to become your majesty and hit the bell notification so you're notified every time I upload a video. And I love you guys so much. You guys are the best human beings ever made. And you're the king of my heart in the song lyrics of Taylor Swift. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah. And happy Memorial Day. Love you. Bye. Let me know what you're doing. Okay, bye. Mwah.